Hello everyone and welcome back to my Timberborn series, where we play the Iron Thief on the Lakes map on hard. So last time the drought just came in, still have about 9 days left. We do have a good amount of water left. I can pause all of these production buildings because they do need power, and currently we are not producing any power because we are in the drought. This guy over here is also not pumping anything, so I can pause him as well. And instead of having 8 haulers, we're just going to reduce it to 4 and put 4 more builders in, so we can keep working on our building projects, one over here and one over there. But I have been thinking a little bit, and we should, I want to say, at least probably, remove this, just to make sure we can still build it up here. And maybe we should even remove that area here. So what I'm thinking is we're building this up as a basin to kind of hold like additional water during droughts. And during bad tides, we still want to kind of filter it out over here and over here, I want to say. So, but I think this is a goal we should try to follow. So we're going to put in some sluices, and for that we actually do need a little bit more metal. Let me first put them in. We're going to want them to run into this direction, and it actually won't work. So great. So we're also going to put a levee over here, and while we're at it, just build this up as well. So we're going to start that little dam area here and just connect it to this part here. Once we are done building all the way up there. So I'm going to put a path in over here, just to this point. And with this, we also want to put in 2 more sluices, just for the excess bad water basically to flow out of here. So we have a 4-way basically outlet, so it won't tip over and accidentally kill our beavers. This doesn't need to be there, but I think it will look nice, so we're gonna definitely build it up. So this way, for bad water, it shouldn't affect us at all, and for a drought, we will actually have additional water storage over here, which I think will be good for us. We could also consider moving actually up here and diverting the bad water. But then again, our power supply down here would actually not work. So maybe we won't do that. Alright, our beavers are quite busy. Actually, I need to pause these 2 because they also don't have power, so they won't produce anything. I have put in a decent amount of our dynamite, and I am going to just detonate it all. So in the future, we will have a bit more water storage there. Also going to add more dynamite in this corner. And you know what, maybe we'll just start to fill it all up over here to add the additional water storage that would or will be beneficial in the long run. And that's a lot of dynamite that we need. I know it's only 1 deep, so that's where we're going pretty wide. But considering our water pumpers and everything else is down here, to get to the water, I think 1 deep and going wide will make sense. I'm still pretty sure that the more surface area you have, the higher the evaporation will be, or the evaporation rate will be. So that will be to our, well, not to our benefit, but honestly I think we will be okay. So I'm just gonna plaster all of this, like I said, with dynamite, and this will take a while to build, but once it's in, we'll be laughing, right? I'll have a good amount of water storage in addition to actual water storage that we will have. So yeah, I think a good situation to then be in, hopefully at least. And we can finally harness sort of this little lake there that when everything basically disappears, just keep some water in there. Alright, so 5 more days to go, 1,500 water left, so we'll definitely be fine. Surprised. I forgot to raise this again. I think I will be able to actually raise this to a 0.9 level, considering we're raising the area over here as well. Yeah, so let's see how things go. I mean, it's still almost 5 days. Our beavers are working 16-hour shifts a day. Why is there bad water over here? Where did this come from? It does make me think, so one of the features I would really love to see in this game is, in a sense, underground bad water sources, so that just putting down dynamite and, you know, nothing will happen except you gain more storage is not what's gonna happen. But there's some random, like, springs or bad water sources scattered underneath, and if you blow them, like blow up towards them, then you have a new bad water source to deal with. I think this would make the game a lot more interesting, and I could see both factions having very specific type of beavers basically dealing with this. The Iron Tea faction a bit more science-based, where their guy or their beaver gets certain equipment to walk around with, and for the what are they called? The forktail section, I think they would just walk around with sticks. So didn't want to put in the berries here. So just put in, get some sticks, and it's like, you know how they, in the past, or I don't know if it's a myth, you can use sticks to try to find water sources, something like that, and they could just walk around and like put flags in there where water sources or bad tide sources actually are. I think that would be a super fun mechanic to work around. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm just gonna blow up whatever, and then it's gonna be fine. But you know, maybe in the future, we'll see. Maybe one of the developers will actually see this video at some point and then decide to give that a try. So yeah, they are now actually almost done building this, which is great. This will not be done before the next regular season comes along. I do just need to make sure it will be done by the time the bad water hits. Actually, just this top part needs to be done, considering this is almost done. Let me super high prioritize this, and then just medium priority settings to this. We do have one unemployed beaver, so that's a definite no-go. I'm gonna activate the other builder hut, which should allow us to build all of this again a little bit faster. So in addition, we should also consider at some point building batteries, and I think we've said we would build them up here, and I still think that would be a good area to build it on, because it's already pretty high and it is connected to at least this part of our colony, however not to this part right here. So maybe we need another set of batteries over there to supply our smelters once, you know, in case of like droughts, because with bad water we're fine here, with bad water we're fine on the other side too. So overall, should only be during droughts. Alright, so having done all of this, actually instead of building this further up here, we could also just continue building this out, so that if there is a bad tide, it could just increase the water flow through here and sort of increase the power production that we get through here. Although I don't think we actually need that. So let's have our beavers continue to build. One thing I did notice though, they will not be able to put these in because we actually they will be able to put one of these in, but not both. So if we want to continue building this during the drought is almost over, so I think we'll be okay. Still 1,300 water left, so it's definitely nothing to worry about, which is great. There's a little bit of a water shortage going on here, but that's because I forgot to stop this. Food is going down massively, which makes sense because we had paused all of our food production systems. actually gonna still keep him paused until the end of the workday. Which again, not great, but overall we're doing okay. And that's the important thing to remember. We also are getting in now some corn again. So they should have already picked everything they can. They have 50 corn in there, and they only reached those 2 areas of corn. So I think it'll be okay. But I think putting all of our food production back on will be an important next step. One of the beavers is contaminated. Because there's no power supply. There's nothing we can do. I see. Should have thought about this. Oh well. Let me actually make sure they're not very high prioritizing all of these. Because it's not that urgent that we build this. Right, at least not that urgent right now. So the water should be reappearing, and I will check that in a second. There we go. It is flowing back in. The downside now is we're actually blocking this part here, but I think overall it will be okay. And this should open up immediately once the water tips over, which it is doing right now. So time to turn these guys back on, our food production areas, this over here too. We are really short on beavers, but you know, the new generation should grow up pretty soon. We do need to unpause these, and I want to keep storing a bit more water. So we're going to produce water for 60 beavers, even though we only have 30. Just basically for this entire period of time, producing an additional day of water per day. So also going to lower this for now, because we do want it to tip over, so those 2 also have something to do. Food supply is going back up, which is great. Corn rations are coming in. We do want to also continue building explosives, so I am actually going to turn one of them on. And actually what we also definitely need is some more metal, because we do need to finish building this, and we cannot finish building this until we actually have the metal blocks that we need. So, but only 2 left. This beaver will continue working the next day. I guess it's already the end of the day. So now this has tipped over. It is nighttime, so I'm going to raise this to 0.95. Let's see how this actually goes. It's the first time we're going to try to fill this up all the way to that level. But in all honesty, it will actually not work because they haven't built this part yet. So let's hope our beaver... Okay, 1 metal block is in there. Come on, mate, you can do it. Build the second one. It takes 4 hours. So by the end of the day, this should actually be built overall. And then we're going to set this close above contamination of 5%. And no, close below contamination of 5%, so it starts to like build up to at least level 1, and all the water basically is flowing over there and basically raising hopefully our water level here, and it is going up pretty steadily. It's hard to tell right now. Yep, still raising, which is great. So very soon this will like start to tip over, and then we will have our water supply back here. I might need to lower this a little bit. 0.95 is quite high, and I'm a bit worried that it will just tip over everywhere before it will start overflowing in this direction. But maybe it's not something really to worry about, but we'll see. We'll see. So it is actually overflowing over here a little bit. As long as our smelters are okay. And honestly, I don't quite know if they're gonna be okay. So all of this is tipping over as well. So there's too much water flowing in here, which might just mean I should decouple these. Synchronize, keep one of them actually closed, so we only have one thing flowing in instead of two. And then we might be able to raise this again to 0.95. Let's do 0.9. And then let's just see and watch. So there's still a bit of flooding going on. There's a drought approaching. We do have a bit of extra water storage here now, which is great. There's actually, it's tipping over here. So while this is kind of flooding the corners of everything, I think it's actually all right. So drought is approaching. I am going to actually increase our water pumpers. And instead pause one of our builders. But I don't want to pause the builder. We have paused this guy as well, but I guess we don't need it. What is happening? Why are 2 beavers injured again? So many injured beavers. I'm not entirely sure. Construction likes material. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Almost 1,000 of them. Fair enough. So they should be actually able to finish this during the next route. There's only one metal block missing, and we should have... No, we don't have an extra metal block, but this will definitely produce at least one more. So again, we should be okay. We're producing 660 power up there. All of this is connected. Most of it should probably come from this, right? 260, 260. So yeah, most of it is coming from here, and not a lot is actually coming from the ones down here. But I guess, you know, first of all, it looks nice, which is always good. And let me actually just clean this area up. So I'm going to put a pine back in there, and I'm going to mark these for demolishing. And we can also put in our gather flag on this side now. I'm going to high prioritize this and just deleting this path for this area. And then we're also going to put our stairs back in just as a shortcut to get from one side to the other. We should not have to deal with the bad water anymore, just making sure it closes above contamination of 5%, which is good. This is producing some energy, not that we're using it right now, but they are about to finish all of this up here. Let me actually high prioritize both of these. I don't think we will be able to block all of this off. No, we won't before the drought hits, because I was like, maybe we can store even more water up here, but I don't think that'll happen. Regardless, we do have a lot more water storage in here now, which is good. And maybe we'll ultimately move this area, this entire production area, and then just block this off and block up here off and basically make this a 2-level deep water storage facility. Well, I guess 3 levels deep once all of the explosives are in. Right, I do think we actually forgot to unpause our gear workshop. That's something we should do. We do have almost 2,000 water, so I'm going to pause a lot more of these water pumps. And with the drought hitting, I'm also going to pause these two. So we have 2 water pumps, basically removing all of the water from here, and then we're going to switch into this area here. Again, 11 days now, I'm not worried about this at all. Our smelter has nothing to do though, so they are almost done or finished building this. All of this is built up. So the next step that we can actually do is remove these. And now it's too far from the city center. I was too fast. Actually, this guy is already bringing the last bit of wood, so that's good. But we're going to remove the path over here as well. And now we're just waiting for them to finish building these, so we can put the next levee in here and kind of block it all off. We do want to have sort of an overflow valve, maybe 2. So we're going to put 2 levees in here, actually one here and one here, which will then allow us to put 2 floodgates one level depth deep floodgates on top of this. I'm gonna place them in here already, put them on lowest priority, put that on highest priority, and kind of one more levee over here with like a medium priority. Once this is fully built, so I'm gonna place the levee here with lowest priority. I'm gonna put this on the lowest, put this ever so slightly higher, and put this up much higher. So they have started to put in stuff in the rest of things. 10 days left in the drought. Again, not worried at all. We are not producing any energy anymore. We do have over 1,000 food. I could go through it and pause the individual building, maximizing stuff. I don't know. Actually, you know what? It makes sense. So let's pause these, and we're just gonna focus on these 5, because that gives us enough beavers to activate our bird builder's hut again, and this way we will be able to finish building this a lot quicker. Now we're gonna very high prioritize this, put this on medium priority for now, and then the next thing that we're also going to do is maybe we should put in our number cruncher already. Well, there's no particular priority to this. We're also, for now, before I forget, put this on 0.9. I think that's a good amount of water storage that we will get in the back here. We're almost done with this. Planks, what's our plank situation? 32, it's actually not a lot left, but overall not too bad. Are you bringing this to somewhere else? Only a few more logs missing. I just want one of them to wrap up building this part. Probably lowest priority to this. This is on highest priority, but nobody has gone in and just, you know, put the hammer to it. Okay, here we go. Now both of these are in. I'm gonna put this on highest priority, and then now we are good. Actually, close below contamination of 5%, meaning when the bad water comes in, the second level will flow out here, and the lower level will actually flow out here. So I think with that we will be in a good shape. Alright, so I think we've now done a lot for our water supply, to be honest. And to avoid having another issue with bad water as it comes along. There are apparently 2 more buildings that need power. One is the contamination pod. Let's see, we don't have a contaminated beaver anymore. I think that is good. We have over 2,000 water in storage, so that'll last us a while. Our food supply is again dwindling a little bit, so we need to focus a bit more now on power supply, like keeping our power supply relatively high. And what I'm thinking is, because you can actually place them that they end up in water, so we're going to demolish this. I'm going to put this actually on highest priority. We haven't actually fully blocked this off, but I think this part will actually be okay. I'm going to remove this dynamite though, and game lagged a little bit. Put a levee in here, put that on highest priority. Once this is in, we're going to basically just demolish this, and then start building this up. Just in case I ever want to build this up one higher, I'm going to put another levee in here. And the rest we're going to fill up with our triple platforms, or, you know, whatever platforms we have. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to put them all on the same height, just to make it easier for me to work with. Need to remove this dynamite. So we have triple in there. Could put a triple in here, and then doubles over here, here, and then another one over here. So now with this we can't reach it yet, but we can start building it up. So put another layer of triples. I'm actually just gonna fill all of this up. And while we're at it, just to make it look a little bit more homogeneous, not that, again, we have to, but I think it will look a bit nicer. We're going to add all of this in here, and this should be now a triple height left, just to bring it all the way to the top. Great. So now we have a decent amount of area where we can put in batteries up here. And you know what? I am going to demolish this and replace that with a put this on highest priority actually first. Demolish this and then replace it with a levee. One thing that we need to consider is we do not have enough planks now that there is a drought. So that is overall okay. Going to also high prioritize this so they can get this done. Just so we can also remove, I guess we could have just removed this and then leave it at that. So let's look into the power supply. Gravity battery, so we're gonna place them over here. So 1, 2, you know what, why not? 400 science, I'm glad we have that much science. So we're gonna put 4 of these batteries in here and then just immediately connect them up. Considering that we might leave some additional space up here basically to add more power-hungry buildings. And a little bit over here so we could bridge over it if we ever needed it. Or I guess path over it rather than bridge over it. So now all of this is done. Currently 2 unemployed beavers, which I guess is not too bad. We can pause these 2 now. And just so we're not going too low in terms of water, we're gonna activate both of these. With only 4 days left and still so much water out there in the bag, I think we will be okay. So let's see, there's a dynamite in there in this corner. There's also more dynamite here that we can immediately blow up. We never made it over here, but I think that we can definitely fix, because we can put a pathway over here and a pathway. Actually, we don't need a pathway over here, because they should be able to build this from the top. And then we can utilize that additional space for water supply. And maybe we're gonna do this right away. Going to high prioritize this. We don't have any planks, which overall is okay. Why are my beavers happier than ever? Something good happened to them, I guess. Oh, they must have gotten their white fur back? I guess so. Because nothing else was new, I want to say. But I think that's also what we're gonna focus on next time in the next episode. Once we're finishing this. Should not talk and try to think at the same time. That doesn't seem to be working out too well right now. So all of this is done. The batteries are coming in. So once the drought ends, we are going to reactivate all of our supply chains and make sure that we're building up our repository, basically, not our repository, our storage situation. I'm going to increase this to 0.2 just to make sure we have a little bit more of water storage on there, because this is pretty low. Not that it should matter too much, but I think that'll do fine. Ultimately, we don't need this block here anymore, so I'm actually gonna remove this. I hope I'm not gonna regret it, but I haven't used it at all, in all honesty. So we're gonna remove all of this, and then we are going to turn all of this area into mangrove trees, just to improve our food production a little bit more. Now let's see what our forester says. Oh, I have to delete that. We do have this guy in here, and he will now actually reach all of this. So we can actually add another layer of the mangrove trees in this corner. And we're gonna do that again to maximize food production, because they will keep producing. even though it takes 10 days for them to produce, well, only 4 of them, I think the more we have, the better. We do have an unemployed beaver, so reactivating a science hut. Although I might deactivate that in a second again. So let's see, what else? What else could we do for the well-being? We could have a mud bath. It does need power. This needs power. The detail doesn't need power, and we do have actually a decent amount of extract left. So maybe we should put these in. And I could see it being kind of nice in the back here, although a more dedicated area here I think would look also great. We do not have enough science. How much science? We need 1,000 science for a detailer? Wow, that's insane. Swimming pool could be nice, especially now that we have sort of stabilized our water supply. The question is, where would we put this? Let's see. In the long run, we could even put it over there. We would need to move this storage area, and I think that is something that we should consider anyways. And then again, where would we put it? What I am going to do already is actually put a shortcut in there, and then maybe we put our like additional storage area for food and things up here. Instead of all the way here. You know what? We're gonna do this immediately. Put a storage facility here for kohlrabi. Say do not store anything here. Make this super high priority. This should be built any second now, and then they can sort of carry all of this over. We're also going to turn on more water pumpers again. Just another 3. That should give us enough excess water production to actually maximize the storage that we have here. Also gonna turn all of these back on. We do need our plank production, our gear production, our food production. There are actually a lot of things to turn back on, and with this we're almost out of haulers. But overall I think that's not too bad. We could pause one of the builders' huts again, and we're gonna do this as well until our beaver supply basically increases. And I think I'm also going to put the berry storage now up here. So we can even consider putting in a few more of the breeding pods down there. But one thing that we could consider, even though I love baby beavers because they're super cute, just building this. We do need treated planks for this and 1,000 science. So maybe focusing on that part here actually will be the way to go. But we do need to turn both of our smelters on right now. And actually our scavenger flag, because we're running low on metal. So with that, we're again almost out of beaver supply, so to speak. Okay, so they are trying to transport this away, but they've used up quite a bit from the remaining kohlrabi in our farmhouses, so let's basically just delete that and they can transport this over whenever they have a chance. And our water is flowing through. Everything seems to be pretty automated now, which is very exciting, which means we don't have to worry too much about any of this right now. Do need to figure out how to kind of keep building our power supply up here, as we are expanding our power hungry buildings down here, and we're actually already low. So this should be something for us to probably focus on. So let's demolish these. Also going to put that on super high priority. Why can I not reach it? Does it actually need to be on the same level? Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, so how do we fix that? I'm gonna unpause this. This is too far from the district center. This is too far from the district center because of this. So now I'm gonna still high prioritize this. Actually, we're not. going to high prioritize the staircase, and then we can put in, for now at least, a platforms to actually make it to the other side. And also cancel this, because what we're trying to do is see how far we can go and then start deleting them backwards and building them up with levees. So ultimately we can place more of our power wheels up here to have more of a power production. Okay, definitely overflowing. So I'm going to open this a little bit more. How much more do we need to open this? Close above. That's not right. I wanted to open above the downstream level, not close it. That's why it's overflowing. So maybe I don't synchronize it. Actually, close it above downstream level of 0.55. 0.55 should be fine, because then all of it should still tip over. And to put this back to 0.9, actually desynchronize them. Oh, they're already desynchronized. Don't actually need this to automatically do anything, so we're gonna have one in here that's basically open until this is just continuously open. So now we're turning this back on. That should lead to our water rising up here. Maybe it is rising again. Now we just need to see if there's enough flowing out the top, and I think there is. Let's see if we can push this to 0.95, kind of maximize it. But the water flow has completely stopped now. Right, because it's not tipping over anymore. The bottom level, the downstream level, is above 0.55. It should have actually just led to tipping over, but I guess it needs to be a little bit more than 0.55. This is sort of a bit of a balancing game, and I think we'll be okay doing this for a little bit. And you know what? Maybe we because it's synchronized 0.55. Here we go. Close above downstream level of 0.45, and then once it's above 0.5, and then the excess water should kind of flow over from here. I'm going to lower this a little bit. Maybe 0.8 is the way to go. That seemed to have worked before. I guess we've never gotten to this point. Well, we had so much water basically stored up here. So this is closed, one is open, and it closes above the contamination. Both of these close above the contamination, not that we will actually have any. So what if we close above 0.5 level? How about we do this? Close it above 0.45, which means the excess water that's flowing up from up here will actually then like tip over and sort of keep resupplying this part. Still not working out for us. Okay, so this way we would open it. Wow, the downstream depth is high. 0.7. Alright, here we go. I think that is currently good, but it will actually ultimately not work because those are actually at 0.5. Because there's so much water flowing down there. I think that's what's causing the issues. Let's go back to 0.95. See if we can handle that. I think that is actually okay. Close above downstream depth. And afterwards it will just open and flood everything basically. Okay, so we do kind of need to figure this out a bit better. Not entirely sure yet how. The drought started already, 19 days. We do have almost 3,000 water. I think overall we're okay. We are going to pause this. And here's what we do need to do over here for now. And this is something that I don't want to keep doing. I'm gonna reduce this to 0.45 as it should be. Once it's above that level, once it's above 0.5, then it should be closed. So this basically just keeps supplying our water during the drought. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna delete that and put another floodgate in there. So we have the excess water, like a 2-level water outlet here. And maybe we're actually moving the stairs to this side and then put in like a 3rd gate as well, and maybe even a 4th gate, so we can keep it relatively high, but there's a decent amount of water coming out during the regular season. Alright, it is a drought, so all of our energy consuming buildings are again out of work. We have 1,200 food. That's not too bad. Has our number cruncher actually been built? It needs 23 gears. We do not have any gears. That is a shame. So I'm still gonna pause all of this, basically freeing up all the beavers, turning up our science hub back on, turning up this on, and you know what, we have so many beavers that are currently not doing anything, so I'm gonna leave this guy where he is. So also gonna plant in the coffee bushes. And you know what, actually we are already done now for this episode. I think next time we have a little bit of things to figure out, especially right now what to do with all of our beavers. But they are technically building all this up, and you can see it's actually made a decent progress over here. So that is good. So maybe we will actually try to focus on these, but we don't have the planks right now. So you know what, we'll figure something out. And like I mentioned before, maybe it's time to focus a bit more on our well-being. We do need another 350 science to get the detailer. Maybe that's our next goal. And maybe we should, you know, plan a little bit more of decorations, like where to put the clock, where to put our beaver busts, because we do have now a decent amount of metal. So maybe we'll, next time we do a little bit more detailing and make our beavers a little bit more happy. Anyways, with 17 days of the drought to go, I'm gonna call it an episode. Thanks everyone for joining. Please leave a like, leave a comment. I would love to hear what you have to suggest and, you know, what you would like to see me do, and turn this more into a let's play rather than a just, you know, playthrough. All right, thanks everyone, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.